It's time after those two very intensive days to look at some conclusions. But before we do that, I would like to, to call for the Slido. There was the poll on the streetscape, and let me see. So, very interestingly, number one was the good quality public transport system. That was quite a surprise. The green areas and parks, I don't think that was a surprise. But then the active neighborhood with the shops and restaurants was also actually a very interesting result. Yeah, and it's very connected also with what you said. Can we now look at the word cloud? That's the poll of this that was launched this morning, and these are the results of what you mentioned. So, interdisciplinarity, education, public, and identity are popping up, but there are so many more elements. You will have the opportunity to continue with the cloud, but let me now come to an attempt for some conclusions, which is really a challenge. Thank you, organizers, for giving me this task. Mesdames et messieurs, chers amis, getting the measure of Baukultur pour un espace de vie de qualité. Pendant 2 jours, nous nous sommes penchés sur la notion de qualité dans la culture du bâti, d'un point de vue scientifique. Et 3 questions ont été posées. Qu'entendons-nous par qualité en matière de culture du bâti? Comment évaluer, apprécier et même mesurer la qualité? Et comment gérer la qualité? D'emblée, Oliver Martin nous a confrontés en montrant 2 images. La première d'un environnement auquel nous aspirons. La deuxième photo montrait un non-lieu, placelessness, selon Matthew Cremona. Clairement, nous avons du travail à faire. Les conférences, les sessions parallèles et nos discussions ont démontré la complexité du problème auquel nous nous attaquons. Grâce à Chris Younes et John Hall, nous avons mieux pris conscience que définir et mesurer la qualité font un tout et ne peuvent être séparés, et que prendre la mesure n'est pas juste mesurer. Nous avons appris également que mesurer donne de l'importance à ce que l'on mesure. Il en résulte qu'il ne faut pas nous tromper en choisissant ce que nous mesurons, parce que ça pourrait avoir des répercussions négatives. La qualité suppose des synergies entre des choses très différentes, selon Chris Younes, et elle a proposé 5 paramètres pour nous guider. Le temps, l'espace, l'expérience, l'impact et le collaboratif. Ces 5 mots sont arrivés pendant le fil des discussions à plusieurs reprises. Grâce à des avancées scientifiques, nous comprenons mieux comment fonctionne notre cerveau et des neuroscientifiques peuvent nous expliquer l'impact de notre environnement quotidien sur notre fonctionnement et plus généralement sur notre bien-être. Grâce à des avancées technologiques, nous comprenons l'intérêt et les enjeux des datas récoltées, le plus souvent, mais pas uniquement, dans des environnements urbains. Nous avons vu des exemples de high quality bauculture en Afrique, témoins d'un modèle durable de construction, modèle qui pourrait être valable pour toutes les régions du monde. Nous savions déjà que pour réaliser nos objectifs, un travail multidisciplinaire était nécessaire. Grâce à la participation d'autres disciplines, nous avons pris la mesure qu'il faut faire appel à plus de disciplines encore que dans le passé. Un dialogue renouvelé et permanent avec d'autres disciplines s'impose. We heard that architects are strong on bauculture, but not so strong to discuss bauculture with people. There was a strong call for dialogue with the people during all the presentations that we heard. And it is not at all about making people accept your project. It's rather about a deep understanding of their needs. La culture y a une place centrale, les connexions avec les espaces de vie. Mais il y a aussi eu un appel pour une générosité de l'architecture et de la planification. Un appel aux émotions. Une fois de plus, la présentation que nous venons de voir. Un appel pour l'innovation sociale. Un appel de respecter des connexions fragiles et des populations fragiles. L'esprit du lieu est important. Les besoins ne sont pas statiques non plus. Alors nous avons parlé de la qualité. La qualité pour qui? We spoke also about managing quality. And nothing is written in stone. What we learned over the last few days is that we have to question our working methods. I was very much impressed by those who came and presented working methods that were beautiful in theory, but time had passed, and in fact, time had come to look at those methods again. Apparently, it's not only products that have a life cycle, it's our working methods as well. We learned about informal and formal tools, about the power of regulations and the power of exceptions to regulations, about regulations as a substitute for design, and we were warned about that. We learned about the balance, the needed balance between cost, time, and quality. But time is important for people. We need patience and we need symbols. We spoke a lot also about governance and the role of different stakeholders at all levels. There was a call for all actors, states, professionals, associations, citizens, to take their responsibility and to do their part of the job. Those who wish to attend this conference and go home with a scientifically validated method, simple and cost-effective, to measure high-quality bioculture in the same ways as we can count some Swiss chocolates, or precisely weigh a point of chocolate with Swiss precision, will be disappointed. However, there was a strong consensus that quality is not a luxury, but a necessity of life. And so there may be 3 strands of future action amongst the many proposals that we have heard over the last 2 days. The first is that the Davos Declaration put high-quality bioculture on the political agenda, but we need 3 more things: awareness, awareness, and awareness, starting at the political level. We have to cajole, persuade, and influence. We need to open up to all actors and establish more partnerships. It was mentioned that there were not enough developers in the room. Decision makers and stakeholders need to be aware of the impact of the lack of good design and the benefits of high-quality bioculture. It was said over and over again that we need to engage in open debates and listen to different opinions. We need even to invite for other opinions, to sharpen our arguments, and to enlarge platform for discussion to increase our understanding. And such open dialogue and increased awareness should lead to mainstreaming and developing national strategies for high-quality bioculture. A second area of action could be research and education, and they go hand in hand. We need more research to make buildings, infrastructure, and landscapes that work for people, and more generally, so that decisions about our living environment are informed decisions. We also need more dissemination of the research results that are currently available. Many of us learned a lot during these 2 days. And we need to find ways to multiply the effects of conferences like this one. The answer is probably to look at higher education, and not just for designers, but also for property developments and health workers and all people that are involved. And they need to be aware of the impact of design and decisions on the well-being of people, much more than we are nowadays. There have been several strong pleas to integrate ways to familiarize school children with their environment, its history, and its specificities in order to strengthen high-quality Baukultur for future generations. Il y a eu un appel de continuer, d'avoir des expériences témoins, not just best practices, but experiences, des expériences où l'on peut se reconnaître. Et les questions qui viennent d'être soulevées par Felicitas Hillman nous y invitent. Elle a souligné surtout l'inclusion, et je tiens à la remercier. High quality is people-centered. I would like to end these provisional conclusions with a note of hope, which many of you have expressed. The engagement of young people all over the world, calling current leaders to take urgent action on climate change, is an expression of hope. They are concerned about the planet and the world we live in. And our quest for high-quality Baukultur fits into this global goal for the future generations. À la fin de ces 2 jours, je tiens à remercier en particulier les partenaires de l'événement. Le Conseil international des monuments et des sites, l'ICOMOS, l'Union internationale des architectes, l'UIA, la Société suisse des ingénieurs et des architectes, SIA, et le département du territoire du canton de Genève. Nous nous félicitions également de la présence de M. Antonio Hodgers, président du Conseil d'État de Genève, et de Mme Isabelle Chassot, directrice de l'Office fédéral de la culture. Sans les techniciens et les interprètes, nous aurions eu beaucoup de mal à nous comprendre. Un très grand merci à vous. Je tiens bien sûr à remercier toutes les personnes qui ont participé à l'organisation de cette conférence et surtout à l'extraordinaire équipe de Oliver Martin avec qui nous avons eu le plaisir de travailler. Qu'ils en soient chaleureusement remerciés. Mais le succès d'une conférence comme celle-ci dépend également des orateurs, des modérateurs de session, ma collègue Rahel Marty, et vous, les participants. Alors, grâce à Gabriele Oettingen et WOOP, we now are aware that we have to identify our wishes, our outcomes, potential obstacles for ourselves, I underscore, for ourselves, and I'm very confident that each of us shall develop a plan to overcome our personal obstacles to achieve the high-quality Baukultur and to take up the challenge. So when we go home, we have to continue our hard work to achieve high-quality Baukultur. And now I come with some final holding announcements. We have worked a lot with Slido and with polls. You will receive an invitation to participate into a poll after the conference. Please do so. Please also check on the website of this conference because new documents and videos will be posted. And last but not least, for the organizers, please hand back your headset. And my last word goes to this building, because it was fantastic. Thank you.